Coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
Greetings.
Welcome back, everyone.
Salutations.
Greetings and salutations.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Sips on the Rock.
Get excited.
Right? You know what I mean?
Not that excited.
It's officially summer, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Is it?
I don't know. It feels like it.
Memorial Day?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Let's go with that.
We'll just go back and forth 5 minutes. Yeah? I don't know.
We just had Memorial Day. Everyone, at least everyone here at the table, got to go splash in some water somewhere.
It's true.
Local bodies of water. Jake and Zoe were down in a creek.
We did go to a pool as well.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, cool.
Stepped out of your comfort zone a little, did
Yeah.
you?
But the cement swimming hole.
Yeah. Well,
Cement
it
pond.
was an apartment pool. One
That's
of my
cool.
buddy's condos. Yeah. It's nice.
All right.
It's cold.
Well, cool.
Oh, was it cold?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
One, there was a copperhead or something in your creek pictures.
Yeah, I don't think it was venomous.
Yeah.
It looked pretty scary to me.
I mean, it looked stripy.
Oh.
The head was very narrow, but it could have been a baby, little baby copperhead cottonmouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't test out its teeth. But she was like, oh my God, and ran away from it. And I was like, what? She's like a snake. And so I started running towards it because snakes are cool to
As
just
you
look
do.
at, but like I didn't try to pick it up. But I'm like, oh, as she's running away, I'm running towards it.
Silly. Speaking of, venomous bites, one of our friends, a good friend of ours, had a recluse bite.
Oh,
And he,
no.
waited like a freaking week to go to the doctor. Now he's got like this big rotten hole in the side of his knee, like having to cram it with a packet full of like gauze and
Very,
just
very disgusting.
it's disgusting.
I don't even want to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never leave my house again.
So watch out for snakes. Watch out for spiders.
Yep.
Everything's
That time of year.
out and about,
All the bugs.
creeping about.
All the things.
Creeping and crawling.
Especially
Right.
if you live out in wooded areas like we do.
Right. Or you frequent creeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's, one of the cool things about Central Arkansas is all the nature,
You don't have to drive far and you can be in the nature.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes just across the street.
That's why it's nature. It is the natural state.
That is where we live. Okay. So some exciting new products to talk about on today's show. These are Fog Bank vineyard wines. We've got 3 expressions: a Chard, Pinot Noir, and a Cab.
It always makes it sound much more classy and fancy if you say expressions. So not
Or
3
instead of
types
varietal.
or varietals.
3 varietals.
Expressions.
3 varietals, expressions, bottles.
Things.
So yeah, we're gonna start off with this Chard. Johnny hadn't tried this yet.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone is surprised that I'm not in the know of these new products that are coming in the door, and
We snuck a peek
nor was I involved in tasting them.
earlier. So like super buttery one here.
What are you doing? What are you doing there?
Oh, I don't know.
Ring around the rosy with the glasses.
That's basically.
Dump cups.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, so
Fog Bank. Looking at the back of the label here, I don't know if it's on the font looks like Joseph A. Bank.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wonder if it's the same bank,
the font looks very similar.
right? But like a really good Chard here, like Jake said earlier, it is a butter bomb. So like if you're like down with those nice buttery American Chards,
That's very
this is your jam.
Johnny
right
likes
here.
it.
Yeah.
He likes
It's
it.
got my approval.
This is like this is going after you KJ drinkers.
Kendall
Right.
Jackson for the
Kendall
uninformed.
Jackson. Yeah, this is a
Kendall Jackson.
This is good.
Vintner's Reserve.
Mhm.
$14.99 here at the store right now.
Every day on the shelf, $14.99, except Wine Wednesday. When what? You get 20% off of that. right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you are into those buttery Chards, pick this one up. You know, it's like I said, warmer weather is here. You're outside, you're on a patio, you're wanting some like seafood and light dishes. I mean, this there's nothing better than like a seafood dish in this buttery Chard right here with your, you know, drawn butter for your lobster tail.
I see that these are open, so I assume that these came off the tasting bar.
What are you insinuating?
No, so I'm saying, do we have these on the tasting bar?
They will be now after
After
down.
the show, we're gonna take them down to the.
I thought you were wagging your finger like, have these been taken out of inventory yet? Have they been put on the tasting bar ticket?
No, none of that. I was just wanting to know if our listeners could come in and try it.
Definitely, yeah.
So a little, wine nerd talk, but talking about how white wine in general pairs with seafood and, lighter fare, as it were. Chardonnays, buttery Chardonnays would go with something, like lobster, like you just said, right? What gives a Chardonnay a buttery flavor?
You got me.
Well, yes, oak, yes, but specifically malolactic fermentation.
Yeah,
Did
you know that?
Yeah.
Well, I
knew he was going to spit out something very nerdy.
I am familiar.
Right, with the term malic acid, and it happens when you age it in oak, it's converted into lactic acid, and so it's a chemical change that happens when the wine is aging, and it gives it that big buttery, note flavor profile, the nose and in the palate, and that's why you don't have big butter bombs in French Chardonnay, because they do most of their Chardonnay in stainless steel. Or very, very light new French oak, which again is not as big on doing it as American oak is.
Right.
Big buttery Chardonnays are also very palatable to the masses. I mean, like that's what they.
Right.
A lot of people they aim for these buttery.
And it's a thing that's used by winemakers, to balance, because some people don't like French Chards. I do if I'm drinking Chardonnay, but they can be very acidic, know, and if you're just having some wine without food, you might not want that. But also, we've talked before about how California winemakers, when we started really mass producing wine over here and making really good wine, not just table wine, that they kind of created their own profiles that became the archetype for Chardonnay, Cabernet going forward. In France with the reds, the classic Bordeaux, they're blended a lot. Where over here, they started doing, well, what is a Napa California Cab going to taste like? And that became its own thing that then people tried to reproduce, in the decades
and
after.
That's the old world, new world.
Right.
Yeah, that's
it's why, you can see really cool and huge differences in wine that are made from the same grape.
right. But obviously, Chard did originate in France. I mean, that's like it's where it's from. It's its home, and we have deviations thereof that grow here in the States.
Right.
And that's predominantly what the American palate is accustomed to.
Yeah.
Very much Chards.
Not knocking French Chards at all. I mean, I also like stainless, oaky Chards
with a little more zing and zip to them.
And there are some that you can get from the States,
sure.
Chamasol does stainless.
Mare Soleil silver. It's a really nice one.
Which there's good ones out there all across the board.
For people who maybe think they don't like Chardonnay and they're more into a Sauv Blanc or Pinot Grigio, check out a stainless steel fermented Chardonnay, because it's going to be more along those lines.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And like I said, on a patio, a ceviche. Yeah, right. Oh, man. Let's go.
That's good, because you would already get a lot of acid from the ceviche, and you don't want to double overdo it with acidity, double dip. Yeah. So you want a white wine, you don't want to overpower it with a red wine, but you want a white wine that kind of counterbalances it. And that's part of the fun of pairing food and wine.
Right. And, there are no rules.
Right. Yeah.
If you like it, enjoy it. That's just.
If you don't try it with something else. If you don't like it with that, try it with something else. Try a different wine with that dish that you love.
Right.
What's this first one? Is that a Pinot on the front?
Yeah, this here is the Pinot.
That's the first to you.
Moving
Well,
right.
it is
the
up
first one
front.
closest to the camera.
Yeah. It's winning the race.
So Fog Bank, I was reading online. These are from different regions, but they're all coastal, California coast, and
Probably shouldn't have recorded that over my laptop.
Yeah.
they adapted the name Fog Bank because the fog rolls in the evening to cool the vineyard after a hot day in the California sun, which adds more complexity to the grapes. It's instead of baking all day in the hot sun, then having a warm night, they get a nice cool down period with that cold fog rolling in off the ocean.
And you're going to get more yields too. If you have, a little bit more of a swing in temperature and cooler nights, as opposed to what you just said. Yeah. If it's hot all the time, the grapes are going to get smaller, more concentrated, but there's going to be less, which is why a lot of time it makes it more expensive, but I digress.
Yeah. So Fog Bank. It's literally because of the fog. So here you are with the Pinot.
Wine so far, very, very good.
Yeah. And I mean, like $14.99 all day.
Right.
Lovely. I'm
Lovely.
I just love a good Pinot.
It's got the classic Pinot notes there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rachel said it downstairs when we tried it. It's not a big fruit bomb.
Right.
I mean, it definitely has some of that tobacco, earth, hint of pepper going on in the nose.
I mean, I get a little bit of dark cherry.
Yeah, it's definitely still the fruit's there. Yeah. No, not to be. Yeah, don't let me fool you with saying that. But
it's not a glass of dirt.
It's not. Yeah, but it's also not straight Bing cherry juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the cheaper Pinot Noirs are definitely like that. And again, different strokes for different folks.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
And this one is still. Obviously it's a red, but it's still light enough.
Yeah.
I would do like a heavily spiced chicken with this, even like a vindaloo or something, or like a lemon pepper, this is still light enough to where you don't have to have a big bloody steak with it.
There's definitely another grape added in here in a small amount to kind of up the body and darken the color and give some of those different aromas, but you can do that too.
Well, I was about to say, I was about to have you explain to everyone so in order to be classified as a Pinot Noir, what is the percentage of Pinot Noir grapes does it actually have to be?
90% in California.
So
I'm 90% sure that's right. Because I'm pretty sure in Washington and Oregon, it has to be a little bit higher at like 95.
So
but, man, I should have done a little more.
Yeah, just because you're drinking a Cab or a Chardonnay or a Pinot Noir doesn't necessarily mean that it's all that grape. It can have a little bit.
It can have a little bit. You can't have 50% Pinot Noir, 50% Syrah,
and call it Pinot Noir, right? Yeah.
But yeah, who knows what big money was behind that decision years ago, so they could throw a little bit of extra kind of cheaper stuff in there. Probably is the genesis of that, if I had to guess. But nowadays, yeah, your Meiomi Pinot Noir was famously the first one that like really, really, caught fire and was huge, became, at least to my knowledge, the biggest, Pinot Noir in a bottle in the United States. And it's because they started adding some Syrah in there to kind of beef it up a little bit and make it a little more complex. But like John just said, yeah, it'll say that, the varietal on the label, but now you'll notice some wineries, they'll put 100% Cab, 100% Pinot to kind of be more transparent if they chose to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to take just a wild stab, what would you think?
Yeah, I bet it's the same thing. I bet it's a little bit of Syrah in here. Yeah.
Maybe a little more low.
Could be. Yeah.
What did it say on the label? On the back of it?
Pinot Noir.
Right.
Yeah. Because they don't have to tell you. That's
they don't have to.
That's the rub. And like with tequilas, when we talked, with Art Lawson-Broso, and we've talked about before, like tequila, you can have some additives too, to a certain degree. And those are like flavor extracts. Usually they're not putting like other distillate in there. So
other agaves, then it would be a
mixto or a Hoven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. The reds, I mean, Jake liked the reds a little bit more so downstairs. But yeah, really, really good Pinot.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Very good for the money, no doubt.
So move us right along, Mr. Dale.
Boop. Nice dark cab. Yeah, that was the same thing.
No, I was going to say, talking about blending grapes anymore, like it's impossible to find out what's in a red blend or something. You know, I mean, it's just that no one puts the varietals on the bottle anymore.
The big mass-produced ones don't, because they don't want people to know. But now the kind of boomerang effect where, or not boomerang, maybe like a pushback, you know, smaller, more boutique ones, they are showing you on the label because they want to be transparent, you know?
Right.
And so we do see them both, but like, yeah, what's in Apothic red? Who knows? You know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Menage a trois red, you'll never
Is
find
it
out.
even
Yeah.
wine?
Yeah.
So here we go with the cab. I recall from earlier, it's a pretty bold cab, you know.
I really like it.
Not one that just punches you on the palate.
I'm a huge cab fan, so this is right up my alley. But it is not like it's not too thick in my opinion.
No, it's definitely lighter bodied. Yeah.
but good, you know. I mean,
Good
it's
tannin structure.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be good with some food.
what you would think a California cab should be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's what they're going for. Again, they're going for a varietal archetype with these ones.
All right.
And they're not going to take huge chances, which is what you should expect. And that's a good thing at $14.99.
Right.
You know?
right.
Totally.
You don't want to get that Chard and be like, what the hell is this? I've never had anything like this.
All right.
Now, so think of a nice cut of steak and like a chimichurri. Yeah. With this right there.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Little patio dinner, glass of wine.
I really enjoy all the wine tastings. Like I used to be able to do a lot more of them before I just buried myself behind my desk. But the wine tastings to me are really fun, especially when they come in with like, 8 different wines to go through. And
It helps. You know, just when you can have lots of different things side by side, it's a perk of our job, you know, being able to do it without having to buy 10 bottles of wine and open them all at once.
Right.
Where they're already open and you get to taste differences in vineyards, you know, and different lots, you know, from the same property and different vintages, especially because, man, we get to try some really cool older stuff with some of the people that come through here.
One thing that is unfortunate, though, like Arkansas law being what it is, you know, they can't leave the bottle with us and like allow the whole staff to come, because generally salespeople are here in the day tasting, you know, who's here on staff in the day, you know.
Right.
So if you come at nighttime, the night crew probably hasn't tasted it.
Right.
Yet.
And those are the people who are doing a lot more of the hand selling and talking to customers. And
yeah, it's unfortunate.
if you come in here at 10 in the morning, you're going to get me and maybe, you know, one of the owners and some admin, you know,
JR.
Rachel. So, yeah, maybe JR, but he's usually too busy.
yeah.
Well, you know, typically our traffic flow is such that our knowledgeable wine folks are in here in the morning. You know, they know what they're after.
Yeah,
they come get it.
Right.
And, you know, like the people that are more
needing some guidance, Yeah.
or just adventurous, you know,
Right.
come out in the afternoons and they can talk wine over with,
James.
you know, James, someone downstairs that has some really good knowledge. So, yeah, it's, and, you know, generally every Wednesday and Friday we have a wine tasting as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a little plug there for our wine
almost
tasting.
always. It seems like we've got Vino.
Specifically
Vino of
Wednesdays.
Arkansas is here a lot.
They like to come and do tasting.
And they, you know, we talked about their kind of mission statement and portfolio a few episodes back, but you won't just be getting a butter California Chardonnay and a Pinot Noir. They bring in cool stuff, niche stuff, like smaller production stuff from Italy, South America,
a lot of France,
South Africa. They got some cool stuff from there. So yeah, if you come in Wednesday and a lot of times Fridays, you'll get to try some of the more out there stuff for free.
Well, yeah, and they bring stuff to Arkansas that like literally is only available in like one or two other states.
Yeah,
I mean, like really, really rare, hard to find, extremely good value wine.
And these products you also won't see in every store across the state of Arkansas either.
Right.
They're very.
But even saying, hard to find, most people would think, oh, you're talking 2007 cabs, like back. It's like, no, these are new, fresh, wines that are just the production so small they can't be everywhere.
Right.
And so these wineries, these vineyards, they have to pick and choose their distributor partners who they will trust to sell their stuff, not only in a timely manner where they turn over the stock, but then, they're informative and they work with their retail partners like us. And it's a beautiful thing when it works well like that. And we're big fans of them and lots of their wines.
Well, and they can't support the California market.
Yeah.
Like that. There's just not enough supply.
They can't be in every Costco with one of these wines. They just don't make enough.
Right. Yeah. So you win.
When we get asked the question of somebody, I went to Minnesota and had this small batch bourbon that's made in Minnesota. Oh, we don't have it here. Well, can you order it? No. And people are like, well, why? Why? I don't want to, not like everybody's like upset, but they're like, well, you're a liquor store and I bought it at a liquor store up there. Like, why can't you be like, they have to make enough to want to sell it at first outside of their own home state. And then to what, the whole rest of the country, that's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot of whiskey to make, or a lot of fill in the blank,
Well, there's a lot of red tape, to move any alcoholic product from state line to state line.
Right.
Coming into Arkansas with a product, they have to register each of these products with this Arkansas ABC. And
find a distributor.
They have to find a distributor who wants to carry it and who will, who wants to give it the love that
and then that needs, get into like trucking,
get it out.
And, I mean, all the transportation costs,
right?
The logistics to get that bottle in your brown paper sack. I mean,
and then you have to have somebody from that distributor who's going to make a point to sell it. I mean, not only just sell it to the store, but keep it moving,
right? Because
we've seen brands come in that the customers are excited about. Distributor bought way too much thinking that it would just sell itself. And if you don't have a rep for that, like brewery, it's happened with breweries a lot. We've seen breweries that I was excited about that came in and died because that brewery is in California, Oregon. They don't have a dedicated person who, you don't have to have one for just Arkansas, but nobody, like east of Utah or something, somebody who's here once every 6 months. And then what the distributors are always, their reps are out there selling all of their other products. So you have to have somebody putting it in the customer's hands who doesn't already know what it is, saying, hey, try this, sample this.
And if you're a distributor that has a huge portfolio, and you've got the heavy hitters,
what is
brand X that's in every store, in every bar in America,
that's going to sell itself.
Right.
Like, Mayomi, Kendall Jackson,
right.
Miller Lite, those things you don't have to teach the customer about it or, introduce as a new thing. But then, I mean, like you're saying, those guys with the huge portfolios, you literally you don't have enough time to focus on everything.
Right.
And so it's like, we got a new thing that's really cool and we're super excited about it for this month until the next new thing.
Which is like literally every week. There's something new coming in the door.
Brought in like 15 new bottles today, and Rachel was like, why are you doing this to me? Because she's got to get them in our system. Then we got to have Katie take pictures of them and
get them online,
set them pricing online. And
the whole spiral effect every time.
And I thought I was like,
on the shelf.
It's one of those things where, almost all these, they're new, they're intro deal for this month. And I was like, the month's over. And so I got to get them. Yeah. I just kept pushing it off until the end of the month. And then, open the floodgates. Sorry. It happens. I try to spread it out.
That is, pretty much our lives.
Nonstop rat race to see what kind of new products we can get on the shelf.
You didn't think we could get 20 minutes out of these wines?
Are we at 20 already?
25.
Oh my God.
Well, I
we haven't even gone through all my notes.
Oh, we actually do have 5 minutes left.
I know that fourth note. We are not going to talk about what that story is.
No, we are not. Absolutely not. You need to erase that off the board.
So what's up with
I was
Diddy?
not going to name
What's
names.
up with Diddy?
Diddy has, we've talked about this, his lawsuits trying to get out from beneath Doucet, and now he's suing again. The maker is, it wasn't Bacardi. Who's the house that was under?
I don't know.
Anyway, now he's suing
Pernod
them
Ricard.
for not giving that brand enough attention.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
goes. What a segue.
right, exactly.
Right? Yeah. But, speaking of selling itself, he, that stuff, it's still hot.
Yeah.
You don't really have to push that one because it's popular. But that was part of his lawsuit, is that it's demographically geared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be more popular with.
Right.
Yeah.
That was his deal.
Right.
So, yeah. He is very litigious.
Yeah. Well,
I think you don't get to be that rich without being someone.
I suppose not.
Day drinking.
One of our favorite things, right?
Especially in the summer.
So why does day drinking feel different? Yeah. No?
Tell me. I'd imagine it's because you're more active. If you're out doing something outside, and not just sitting on your couch day drinking.
It's multifaceted.
No.
For one, obviously it's hot outside.
Yeah. It's going to help dehydrate you faster.
You're drinking more. You're dehydrating yourself more as you drink more.
And your dumb body thinks, "Hey, I'm drinking. This is good for me."
Right.
But what you're drinking is dehydrating.
Right.
And of course, it being daytime, there's no built-in cutoff.
Right.
You roll into night. Oh, it's dinner. Well, let's drink some more.
Yeah.
You go out for dinner and start drinking in the evening. There's a cutoff. You're going to go to bed.
Bedtime.
Yeah. That's true.
This also says that anxiety can hit harder from day drinking.
Like the next day.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
I could totally see that.
The Sunday scaries.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
It's like, why did I do that? What's this week going to be like?
Yeah. So moral to this story in this article was drink some water while you're day
That's
drinking.
really what I was going to try to
it doesn't really
end it
matter
on with,
if you're-
punctuate it with.
If you're day drinking by the pool,
Right.
going out at night at the bar,
Should just be a rule.
just alternate.
Yeah.
Water and drink, water and drink.
Exactly.
We need to practice what we preach, but it is a very seems like very well known fact that you have to hydrate while you're drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be smart, folks.
Yeah.
We're adults.
Yeah.
And getting older and just let's be
It
clear.
takes
As
more
you
of a
get
toll
older,
on your body.
Yeah, you got to think about these things as you get older.
Yeah.
because, you can't get up the next day and start all over again like you used to.
Not with that attitude.
Not without that water.
It pays to read my notes. Diddy is suing Diageo. That's the house.
Okay.
And he specifically says that they did not throw enough weight behind as they did Casamigos.
Oh.
Called them out. Yeah. And then I thought this was interesting. Virginia has revamped, state ran. They revamped their allocated whiskey lottery.
Ooh. Are they? So you said there's state-run liquor stores there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They said that they've automated it, which is going to make it more fair. But in reading the article, it was already automated. There was a glitch in their system that was allowing people to register multiple times.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
Y'all don't know.
Somebody would create a program that constantly just
you could enter your name and then put Sesame Street.
Right.
And you could enter with a different address every time.
Oh.
And so they caught people hundreds of entries.
One thing I know, if there's a flaw in your system,
Someone's
when it
gonna
comes to
find it.
allocated whiskeys, those
God.
bourbon geeks will find it.
Yes, they will.
Find a way to beat the system.
Unless you have the steel trap that is John
right.
Akins. I mean, he you cannot
I
pull
thought
one
you were
over
going to say
on
the
us.
steel trap that is our rolling
I
thing.
wasn't making that motion, wasn't I?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Can't beat that. Not computerized.
you
not
cannot
digitized.
pull one over on us.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to outthink the outthinker.
All right.
One step ahead of you, gangsters.
Right. Which, I mean, here we are. I mean, it's halfway to Whiskey Lottery.
My
God,
God.
can you believe that? I cannot believe it.
Craziness. What else is on the board?
Events local. We are actually where I can talk about a gig, and the episode will drop the week of the gig and not
Shut up.
after.
Oh, good.
That never
That
happens.
never happens.
Next Friday, the 9th, I'll be back at the Oyster Bar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
On a Friday.
So nothing crazy like the Camp Taco show, or it's not my band, but it's solo covers with my buddy Zach, and we're playing at the Oyster Bar. Fantastic establishment, great food, good.
I mean,
beer.
honestly,
Good time, good food.
I am so in love
Yeah.
with the new Oyster Bar.
Yeah,
Food is this food is so good, and the atmosphere is so awesome.
Did y'all see that?
It's hard for me to accept it.
Marquee.
Oh, it was the Oyster Bar's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
When it was like old dive bar.
Dive-bar-y, yeah.
I mean, no, it's totally awesome, but it's just
a good atmosphere.
It's
It's
next
different.
level now.
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
and I love it.
It's very professional.
Did y'all see the marquee that Pizza D had up? I don't know if it's still up, but I saw it yesterday.
They've been making some good
On
ones lately. What are
Facebook.
we talking? Which one?
Said, the Oyster Bar gave me crabs.
That's good.
All right,
Yeah.
boys. We have a few other things on there, but I think we can probably hold off and wait till the next episode.
Fine.
Johnny was so worried about filling up time this
I know.
episode, and we said, "We got it."
He's a stickler at that 30-minute mark.
I am.
Wait
Well,
till you're gone again.
I just don't want
We're
to.
going
I
35
just,
minutes.
one day we're going to come in here. We're not going to have any content. We will.
That will never happen.
Because
Yeah.
we went 2 or 3 minutes over every episode. And those we could bind those.
We,
Chicken Little here.
we have
I'm just talking.
We
shit.
have-
I want to get off the air now.
we have gone wheels off the ground with less on the board before.
That is true.
Stretched it longer.
That is true.
True story.
All right, folks, come try this Fog Bank. It's really good wine. Great bang for your buck. Good
Yeah.
summertime wines.
I would imagine by the time this drops, these wines will be in the tasting bar. So,
Oh, they're going down today.
Yeah.
So
Come try 'em.
Come try them out. Talk to James. Let him explain to you. And we'll see you guys next time. Keep on sipping.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.